RP to the Pope. I guess when you do have like, Trump's old. And again, like we don't talk about Trump's age
enough
the way we talked about Biden's age. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think because Biden looked every day of his age
and sounded like it. Biden would come out and he would be moving kind of slow. But Trump is almost as old, not older than Biden. Okay. Almost as old, and sometimes.
I mean, the president ages you what? The presidency ages you what? 2 years per year. But that's
if you try to do the job. Does Trump really?
Maybe that's why he's tanking. So he doesn't feel the effects of aging for the presidency.
Trump really? I mean, again, like they have to, according to what they're saying, like they can't give him any bad news. Like they have to give him only good news and only celebratory stuff.
I think that should be the case for all of us. I only want good news from here on out.
But like,
it's not a bad policy.
And when he hears critique, he goes crazy.
Yeah.
Right? I guess Karl Rove has some critique of him. He writes his long posts. He just attacked Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah. Called her a low IQ person.
Right, because Jasmine Crockett has been a voice that has been very, very critical of him. So that's what he does. But, sometimes when it comes to old people and technology,
before we talk about this, can I tell you a story about this, an anecdote?
Yes, sure.
My father went through, like many other black parents did in the 90s, went through spouts of unemployment.
Yes.
Right? My dad, when we first got a computer, thought that the internet had business hours. So he would sit in front of the computer putting in resumes from 9 to 5. Like it was a job.
What?
Your father's gonna beat you.
So funny.
My dad just found out how to find me on YouTube.
Oh my
After
God.
how many episodes? He just found out we had a show.
You don't send him the link?
No. Why would I do that?
Wow.
Well, apparently Donald Trump doesn't understand Photoshop.
I mean, is that surprising?
Absolutely
I don't understand
not.
Photoshop.
But you understand. You can look at a picture and say this is Photoshop.
Yes.
You don't understand Photoshop.
I result the implication, Miracle.
Bro, you send memes every day of real life.
Why I got ops on the show? Niggas sound like the feds.
Why you just gonna lie?
Niggas sound like the feds out here, bro. Like they trying to get me deported.
I just want to point out, just unprompted, he lied, and unprompted
for no reason. Didn't even benefit him.
Listen,
he just lied off the cuff.
He gave no benefit to the conversation. Just like, let me just put this lie in here.
It's getting hot.
But anyways, continue on.
Can we play the clip of Donald Trump being interviewed and not understanding that this picture that was supposed to be this picture of Mr. Garcia, this person that has not been charged with anything, that they said by their own admission mistakenly sent to El Salvador, and a Supreme Court said you have to bring him back. They're not going to bring him back. Here's Trump trying to explain that he's definitely in MS-13 because he has MS-13 tattooed on his hand. This is not a parody. This is not a parody. This actually happened in real life.
Hold on. The top comment is, Photoshop is pretty generous. They edited that on a Word document.
Of a gang, and then they looked, and on his knuckles he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
But wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
Yes.
I saw the picture.
Yes.
We'll
Bring up the picture, please.
Well,
Here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir.
Terry,
I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted.
Yes.
This is why people no longer believe the news, because
when
it's
he was
fake
photographed
news.
in El Salvador, they aren't there. But let's just go on. They aren't there when he's in El
Why
Salvador.
would you not go on?
They
Take
weren't
a look
there,
at the
but they're
photograph.
there now, right?
No,
but
they're in your picture.
He wants to talk about it.
He's got MS-13 on his knuckles.
All right.
Okay,
We'll take a look.
You do such a disservice.
We'll take a look at
Why
that.
don't you
It's
just
tight.
say yes, he does, and go on to something else?
It's contested.
Was it
like I don't understand? Like at that point, to me, this is the story. This man he's the president of the United States. He's quote unquote the leader of the free world. Believes that this typewriter photoshopped is actually on this man's hand.
There was something I read, and I'm sure Miracle was probably going the same direction, that a lot of people were upset that Terry didn't push the issue enough.
Yes.
That was the discourse I had seen online.
Correct.
Like
You have to stop and say, wait a second.
You're lying.
No, not you're lying. Like, I have a literal insane person in front of me, but the difference is this man has his post on the button that could cause nuclear war. Yeah. Like, this is a big thing. Like, this man in front of me doesn't understand Photoshop and how it works.
Yeah.
And literally, like, did somebody tell him that? That would be my first. Wait a second. Is this what they're telling you?
Yeah.
Did they tell you
and I wonder,
that this is a tattoo, or do you automatically believe that? There's so many questions that we have.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know if this is plausible deniability. I don't know if like they're just, if they're trying to they're fleecing the president. You know what I mean? If people are committing like an insurrection from within the Trump administration, like trying to usurp the Trump administration and kind of make him as a scapegoat. And in order to bring about this new regime, to me, that's kind of what I think almost is happening at this point, that he's just almost, and this isn't to indemnify or remove him from any harmful things that he's done.
Right.
But I almost feel like he's being made out to be this scapegoat for this brewing coup that's happening within the Trump administration. That's a more dangerous, insidious, right-wing, theocratic movement.
Again, I would think that, again, it just seems like there's not enough intelligence around him.
Is that my tinfoil hat shit? Like, I have the aluminium on my head?
Maybe, because like I would see if like who's Dick Cheney then? Remember how it was like George W. Bush with Dick Cheney, and he had all this experience.
What if it was Kash Patel, like the dark horse Kash Patel?
I don't know, but then they're saying Kash Patel, who's in charge of the FBI, is like in the clubs. Like, he's literally be in the clubs all the time. Like, he don't even be at the FBI. This is what they're saying.
There's a joke to be made, but I'm not going to make it.
Exactly. So I don't know. Yes, relax. All right. So I don't know. Miracle.
Kash Patel smoke a hookah is crazy. Him getting bottles and smoke a hookah is crazy.
I mean, but that's what they're saying, right? Yeah. That's what the FBI is saying. But again, so who is it? Is it Rubio? Like, is Rubio the puppet master? Like, who is it's not Hegseth. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it could be.
Who? Hegseth?
Just to think about what he is SecDef. So
I don't think it could be. I mean, bro, the dude can't
I'm not
even
saying
keep
he's
his
intelligent.
business
I'm saying
off signal. So like, how can he be a manipulator of?
I'm not saying manipulator, but planting evidence or setting things up.
I don't think so. I mean, like, again, I think that's tinfoil. I just, who is that person? If there was somebody, like, is it Stephen Miller? I don't know. Miracle.
I mean, Rubio is, I had to look it up to get it right.
Yeah, because he has like 4 jobs now.
Both the Secretary of State and the National Security Advisor. So theoretically,
is that like stereotypical of like a Latino person? Is that?
No, because the last person.
Oh my God.
He's going to give him all the jobs.
Oh my God.
Gonna give the Latino dude all the jobs. Like, I can see Trump thinking that. Like, oh, he's Latino. He can do all the jobs.
What if he called him like deputy of gardening or some shit like that?
You know he wants to. You know he wants to. Miracle.
Oh, man.
He's Cuban, yes.
But the last person who did this was, I believe, Henry Kissinger. Mm-hmm. So again, if we're thinking about who could be like a mastermind and could, push Trump on out, is someone who was not always a Trump loyalist.
True.
But you never know. But be that as it may.
Right.
I don't think that Trump is being taken advantage of, because again, the cruelty is the point, and it doesn't matter if he knows what is going on or what doesn't. All he knows is people are being harmed,
right?
And that's what
makes
he doesn't
him
care.
Happy. Yeah,
and that is what they are trying to do. Yes,
but the fact that the president doesn't understand that picture is Photoshop, or is it that he doesn't care, or if he doesn't understand that?
Listen,
then like either. When somebody gives him that picture and he believes it's true, like, isn't it their responsibility to say, like, Mr. President, it's actually I don't know.
Mr. President, there is not cheese on the moon. Mr. President, there are no monsters under your bed.
You would think so, and you would hope so. But again, if people are running based off of ego and white supremacy, they don't need to tell him anything, right? All they need to tell him is some person is being taken from their family, some person's being kidnapped. And rendition, that's what they need to tell him. That's what they tell him. But again, what I always say is the gang database had errors before Trump was there. You know, people look at these tattoos that folks have and they give them, you know, nefarious interpretations. And now people on a gang database, people are in prison.
Right.
And so these have been wrong. Police have known they have been wrong for years.
Right.
And so he doesn't have to get it right because that is the practice. And again, if you could just say, hey, this person's a threat, that's all people want to hear, so they can pick, okay, Democrats are fighting for criminals instead of being like, no, Democrats are fighting for due process that we are all going to need at some point.
So it is looking like that they're not going to bring this man back under any circumstances, despite the fact that the Supreme Court said
you need to bring him back.
Right. So
but
what
the
is
Supreme Court didn't say he has to come back to the United States. They said you could put him somewhere else. Like, you know.
But they're not doing that. It doesn't seem like
they didn't even say he needs to come back alive.
Right. Well, so what? I guess my question, Miracle, like what is the next step? Like we have a president doesn't understand Photoshop, like is watching shit at late night. We'll get it's more stuff that we're getting into.
I mean, the bad place.
Right. We had a guy, and if you play this next clip, Fruit. We had a president where they asked him, "Do you need to uphold the Constitution as president?" A very direct question. Can you play that clip? It's the more, I mean, whenever he does interviews, and I don't, again, but he loves to do interviews.
You give people a mic and they just incriminate themselves.
Yes. I mean, he has 34 felonies.
Even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The question was, Mr. President, don't you need to uphold the Constitution? His response, I don't know.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
He said, I don't know.
That's
so
really
again,
not how the law
right,
I'm about to say that's
he said get someone else to do it. I don't know if it's going to be me. And again, I keep saying that I think the United States is headed toward a military coup.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to be Pete. I even think it may be one of the prior Biden or Obama appointees, because you can't say that you don't know if you're supposed to uphold the Constitution.
I mean, you can't. I mean, he just said it though. Correct. He just said it.
He did, but I'm saying the whole point of the oath of office is you swear a duty to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
Could you say that again, please? Like
the whole point of being a president, elected official, you swear an oath to the Constitution to uphold the laws of the United States.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. And it's like he has the presidency, he has the Senate, and he has the House. If he wanted to make changes to the way things are, he could just pass a bill.
May I read?
But that would be, I feel like if he passes a bill, in Trump's mind, he wants the credit. So like passing a bill would be like that Congress did that, or saying like Trump wants to be the person that like he did the tariffs. He didn't ask anybody. I'm doing the tariffs. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But it is interesting. They're saying they came out and said they're going to, and Hegseth is going to cut 20% of their military senior ranks. Remember, the first thing they did when they got in, they got rid of all the heads of all the military. They got rid of all the military lawyers. Now they're cutting 20. And it just, when I see this.
I mean, the older people who know what's going on is wrong and have.
But when I see this, it's like, where are all these, we love the truth Republicans? Where are all these, we love the Army, we love the Navy, we love the troops? Like, if Biden said, I'm going to cut 20% of the generals, these motherfuckers would be going crazy. Oh, they hate the military. They hate us. This motherfucker was been in mad signal chats and not and there's no response.